Hi, it's Emily with Grounded Practice. I hope this finds you well. Thanks so much for being on this channel. My kids made this for me, and I just think they did the most amazing job, and they're so excited to have you here, and so am I. They are taking some of my old content from Instagram and uploading it, and the video that's about to come, they picked, but I wanted to put a little bit at the beginning because it was recorded before COVID really came to the United States fully. So some of it might feel different for this time we're in now, but the resources that I share still are providing so much help to our family and support. So I hope you enjoy the video. I also have hair in my face. I also wanted to share a couple other resources that we've really been using now as things have continued to shift and change, and also encourage you to check out my Instagram page. All of the links I talk about in the video are still in the link tree on the Instagram page, which I believe my kids have linked in this YouTube channel. And I also have a voices highlight that talks about how we're doing anti-racism work in our family, as well as supporting movement. And to that regard, this is another book I would add to the list of great resources. Something happened in our town. It has great information in the back for parents about how to talk about this work with your kids and participate and use your actions for positive change. I also have a new favorite bookstore, Elizabeth's of Akron. All of the proceeds from that store go to the Love Foundation, which is doing amazing work in the community, and you can find all that on my Instagram page as well. So I'm sending you a lot of love. Thank you so much for being here. You're making my kids' day by subscribing, and I hope the information is supporting you too. Have a great day. Bye. Friends, hi, it's Emily. I hope you're having a great day. I just wanted to come in and touch base really quickly because last night I felt like at our house, I don't know about your house, it seemed like everybody came home and it was just this heightened level of uncertainty and anxiety, and primarily around this whole coronavirus thing that's happening. My husband had just come back from Washington, D.C., so he had been traveling and seen all kinds of things at the airport. He and I talked about that privately. And then our kids had also heard about it. One of them heard about it on the bus. The other said people were talking about it at school, and everyone was pretty freaked out. And so I just wanted to touch base. Like I said, I want this to be a space where we can come together as a community and support one another and share ideas. So I wanted to come on and see how you're doing. And I also wanted to come on and just share some things that help us with our kids during this time of uncertainty. As I mentioned, we've tried many things for many different reasons, and lots of them have not worked. And I just want to make sure the ones that do work, I share with you. So if it's something you need, you could use it. And please also feel free to share anything with me because I'm a curious person and I'm a work in progress, and I really appreciate your feedback and help too. So to start, I'll just say, and I'm not going to talk specifically about the coronavirus, although I'm happy to share with anybody who wants to know how we're talking to our kids about that. But I'm going to talk about just in general things we use when things happen that are scary to our kids or make them feel uneasy or uncertain, and also things that we use for ourselves when we might be feeling that same way. You know, in this circumstance, we don't know much either, so we do the best we can. So there's a lot of things that my husband and I do to try to center and calm ourselves so we can be present for our kids in a helpful way as they work through these things and we work through them together. So first, of course, the oils are a huge part of how we take care of our family when they're uncertain and worried. I highly recommend checking out the video I did about my son's morning routine. That's great for all kids who are uncertain. You know, this kind of time is really hard for kids who do have those empath tendencies because they do take on a lot of that energy that's going around right now, especially that nervous energy. So really working with wood oils, steady is great for kids on their feet, balance. We've been diffusing black spruce a lot. He puts those drops in his hand and does his thing that you can see in the video for the mornings. So those are all super at letting that energy kind of come in and flow out through those kiddos so they can just deal with their own thoughts. Another thing that works, so you can check out my page. I have a link to a lot of oils. I also wanted to talk about frankincense. I love frankincense, so it's a wood oil as well. It's the resin though, so it's a really special part of the tree. And one thing we do, this is the touch, so it's diluted, but you could do it with if you get that 10 kit, it comes in there. So you could do it with that as well. Just dilute it with your favorite carrier oil, but I put a little bit at the base, in the middle, at the top. And I learned this from my mentor, Elena. And then you just rub in circles all the way up the spine. And it's just a very, very grounding, supportive, wonderful practice. And I did it to both my kids last night, and it just got them really ready for peaceful sleep, and they felt very loved and supported. I'll go over my sleep routines probably next week with them. So that's another big part that we try to do to support our kids in uncertain times, is just keep up our routines and having the oils and self-care rituals associated with them. I just am so happy that we can give that to our kids. Another thing that I really love if your kids are dealing with anxiety or worry are these books from Dawn Huebner. I'm going to link her website with the book page loading. She's written a number of books. She's a child psychologist. So we have this one, Outsmarting Worry, which is great about how to deal with anxiety or worry that pops up. It's written in a really approachable way. It's got tons of strategies. It doesn't stigmatize having anxiety. It just makes it feel like what it is, normal. Like, right, if you worry about stuff, you're just human. That's normal. But there's a lot of ways we can deal with that. The other one I really like is Something Bad Happened. And this is talking about things that are happening in the news or our world that are scary. I love that she doesn't address anything specifically, really. Just talks about the something bad, but it's got great strategies. It's got like reflection pages, and what I like about the reflection pages is she offers a PDF of them as well, so you can go on the website and print that, and your kids can work through that with drawing. She also has 2 amazing meditations in here that really remind me of something I recommend that my husband and I use called The Work by Byron Katie, and it's more about just sitting in your present body. So I know for my kids and for me, a lot of the times the anxiety we feel has nothing to do with what's happening in reality. It has to do with this imaginary future that we're picturing in our head. And, that probably won't happen. And we also all think that we're here on purpose. So we know when we connect to ourselves at a soul level that we can respond to and handle anything that comes our way. And that doesn't mean that we don't have to take serious action sometimes or get worried. And it doesn't mean we're not planning for the future. But it does mean doesn't mean we never do this. But when we are doing it, we try to actively be aware if we start spinning into fear and worry, that's just not helpful or needed, because we can respond. We have 100% success rate of getting through stuff. Sometimes we don't do, we learn from it. We make a mistake and learn from it. And then other times stuff has come up we haven't expected and we've handled it just fine. So we know that's going to be the case here too. So we just make a plan based on facts and knowledge and keep going with our support. So those books I love. I also love this book by Louise, Heal Your Body. It's just a book of affirmations, and it's it's just pages and pages and pages of affirmations. So there's things for anxiety, there's things for things going on in your body. So I will later post one of the affirmations she lists for anxiety and worry, and you just say it to yourself in your mirror. And even if it feels kind of hokey, I recommend trying it on, because it will connect with that part of you that's ready to hear that, and it is super supportive. So I love that book. I also, for just general anxiety, I love this podcast called AT Parenting Survival. And she's a psychologist that focuses on OCD and anxiety. And what I love about her podcast, the podcast page is just really well organized, so you can look up a lot of topics and you'll know exactly what it's about. I also like that she has a lot for kids, and same deal as the Dawn Huebner books. It makes it so that it's not stigmatized. She tells stories about people in her practice, obviously with their permission, but so the kids can see themselves in other people and be like, okay, I'm not weird. This is fine. And I think it's wonderful that little kids are now dealing with these feelings and doing the hard thing instead of trying to avoid it or think there's shame around it. So I love that podcast just to support us in helping our kids also. And as I mentioned, so those are the main things for our kids: the oils, the rituals, the books that are helpful if we need some more talking points, the affirmations. That podcast can be really helpful. And then the other big thing is just grounding ourselves and being as present and calm as possible, and factual to the extent that's appropriate for the ages they are. But one way way we do that is we like to listen to music. We like anything that gives us an opportunity to connect with like that part of us that knows we will be okay. We are okay. We're part of the universe and light and love, and we can bring that and show up that way all the time. So I love listening to music. Above and Beyond has an album called Flow State. My mentor Elena's on there, and it's a beautiful album. I love listening to it. I always feel just amazing afterwards. But Ram Dass and East Forest also have an album together, and they recorded it right before or shortly before Ram Dass passed away, and it's a beautiful offering. And again, just connects us to the truth that we can be present and we will be okay. I also, for like those times when people are feeling uncertain, there's some books I love. So did I already say this? I probably did, but Byron Katie, The Work, she's amazing, and I'll link her website, but she has 4 questions you can ask that really root you in where you are right now. I like Joe Dispenza. He has some amazing meditations. I like Abraham Hicks for meditations. I like Ram Dass's Instagram page has a lot of inspiring quotes. So just all these things to reconnect me with my knowing and truth that I'm going to be okay. So anyways, I don't want this to get too long, but I just wanted to pop on and share those things that have been helpful for us. If you have things that have been helpful for you, we would love to hear them too, because I love learning from you as well. And I just, like I said, really want this to be a community where we can learn and grow and share together. And I just want to tell you that I'm here for you too, and supporting you and sending you and your families good wishes as well. And I'm excited that we're on this journey together. So reach out with any questions, and I'll see you soon.